Hey friends, welcome back to the Gubba Homestead. I'm Gubba and today I want to take you with me for a morning on the homestead. I have projects galore that I need to do. I'm in the middle of processing season. I actually have my freeze dryer going right now that is filled with apples and pears. I have a load of other produce that I need to figure out what I want to do with. And the first thing that I need to do this morning is go and milk. So I'm all dressed up, kind of have a new thing going on. I have milking clothes. I go out and milk, come back and change, and it just keeps things nice. Anyways, so that's what we're gonna start with first is milking the goats. So let's head on out. As I was walking out to go and milk, the sun was rising over the horizon, and one thing I like to do when the sun rises and the sun sets is to sun gaze. This is where you stare directly at the sun. It seems crazy, but I have found some wisdom in it. It also gives me energy. It has helped me with the floaters in my eyes. So if you think I'm crazy, you know, you do you, but I have definitely found health benefits from this, and I know this is an eclectic practice of sun gazing. So that is what I did for a little bit. Then my puppy scared me. She barked at something, but now we are going to go and get the grain for our goat to milk. I rotate between using a homemade grain mix for my girls and this scratch and peck mix, which is good as well. But today we're going to use the scratch and peck. Next, we headed over to the chicken coop and the goat house. It's kind of cool how it's set up. On one side is the chicken coop, the other side is where the goats are. And we got our girl into milk. I built this stanchion and it's just perfect for my Nigerian dwarf. She doesn't have to go up very high. And then we milked. Right now we are heading into winter and colder weather. She's producing about a cup and a half a day. I'm only milking once. I could have kept milk production up by milking her twice a day, but it is kind of, you know, a hassle. So you have to consider your time. I'm happy with a cup and a half. That's perfect for me at the moment. But today I decided to give the milk to my puppy just because if there's a lot of debris that gets into the milk while I'm milking, or if I already have enough in my fridge, I also like to share with the dogs. It's super healthy and beneficial for them. I'm completely raw with the dogs with what they eat. So that is what you see me doing, is sharing my milk with my puppy, and she thoroughly enjoys it. After we got milking done, which is the biggest chore of my day for the most part, is just waking up. It's cold, it's early, I gotta go milk. I wanted to process some peppers. I had some poblanos and some jalapenos that needed to be processed. So either I need to cook with them, and my favorite way, or at least one of my favorite ways, is to pickle. It is such an easy way to get food off of your counter, get that produce off, and it makes the food taste amazing. So I love pickled peppers. So you just chop them up as you see me doing here. You can either de-seed, which will take the heat out. I love to keep the seeds in because then it has like this pickled spicy flavor. So I chopped up the peppers, I added them into the jars. So I ended up with a quart and a pint, which is perfect because the pint could be given as a gift. I am making it a goal to try to make homestead gifts because I have honey and I have homemade vanilla. And so I have all these things that I think would make neat gifts for Christmas. So in my mind, I'm like, ooh, pickled peppers. This would be a cool gift. You can let me know in the comments if you think that's cool or not. I would love to receive something like that. But pickling is easy. All you do is make a brine. All right. So you chop up whatever you want to pickle. You can pickle carrots, peppers, those produce that are sitting on your counter that you don't know what to do with. Or if you have an abundance of eggs, pickled eggs are amazing. I've also pickled eggs for you guys. But yeah, you make your brine, which is just vinegar, water, sugar, salt, and you heat that up and then you pour it over whatever's in the jar, essentially. Some recipes might vary. I also put garlic in with the peppers. Sometimes I will, sometimes I won't, but I had some garlic, so I thought, why the heck not? And then After this, I gathered up all of my scraps and put them into the chicken bowl. What is so neat about chickens is that they will eat your kitchen scraps, so you are reducing food waste while also helping feed your chickens and reduce the amount of money that you have to spend on chicken feed. So I have fruit peels in here, I have the pepper seeds, all those little odds and ends of food that I have been processing over the past few days. So you can see me here taking it out to the chickens. I will toss it into their run, and then the chickens get excited, and I realize that I left a knife in the bowl. Who does that? But so I had to go into the run to go and get the knife, but I left the gate kind of opened. They finagled it open and the goats got out. So it's always a fun day when the goats get out. Usually I will let them free range, but today, right now, I had the buck in that area. I didn't want them free ranging because I don't want an accident at this moment. So I had to put the goats back away, and then we went back inside and I started to make some zucchini cinnamon bread. So I had zucchini that needed to be processed. One of my favorite ways to use zucchini is by baking, and I have been obsessed with this. It's almost like a zucchini coffee cake bread. It has the cinnamon and the sugar, and you may think baking with zucchini sounds weird, but you can do so much with it. So you can see me shredding the zucchini. It's super easy, and then you add in moisture of like yogurt or milk, and you put in the flour and the baking soda. It's just super easy. This is another thing that you can make up, give to your neighbors, or enjoy over the next couple of days. Literally, this will be gone. I have a friend who is coming tonight, so that's why I'm trying to get everything done so then I don't have to crunch everything after she leaves. So that's why I wanted to get my produce together. I wanted to clean up before she got here and just, make it not look like such a huge disaster. And I thought, what a great way to bake some zucchini bread for my friend. You can see me putting in the batter here, and it's just like kind of a moist batter. You put in half, and then you sprinkle with the cinnamon and sugar, and then you put in the other half of the batter, and then you top it again with the cinnamon and sugar. And I think that's kind of what makes like the coffee cake appeal, because coffee cake has like that cinnamon sugar on the top, which I love, love, love to make. I make a huckleberry or a berry coffee cake a lot in the summers. So we put that into the oven, and the fun doesn't stop there. While that bakes for an hour, I washed some apples and pears. Those are going to be processed in my freeze dryer once that batch that is currently in the freeze dryer is done. And then I went out and picked some pears on my pear tree for my neighbors. They do not have pear trees, and so I thought, hey, I have a lot of extra pears. I don't particularly want anybody to come over here and pick them because, well, I would rather just pick them for somebody and go drop them off. So that is exactly what I did, and I got 2 full bags of pears for them, and I ended up dropping these off later in the day with some other produce that I had an abundance of. And while the zucchini cake or bread was baking, I mean, it could be a cake. Let's be real, it is really good. The freeze dryer was done. So when the freeze dryer's done, you have to immediately put that food into Mylar bags or to jars, or it will start to collect moisture. And then the whole reason that you freeze dried, which is to get the moisture out, becomes pretty useless. So I got the apples and pears out, and I put them into Mylar bags. So Mylar bags are important for long-term storage, up to 30 years, depending on the food that you're storing. Mylar bags with oxygen absorbers. So first you get the moisture out by freeze drying. Freeze drying takes all that moisture out. Moisture ruins your food storage. And then you use Mylar bags and oxygen absorbers, which will keep the light out of your food, the thick Mylar. And then the oxygen takes the oxygen out, which is another food storage ruiner. So that is what I'm doing. And I also put some into mason jars for snacks. These are the perfect snacks because the fruit becomes like a fruit chip. So if you're craving something crunchy, maybe a little sweet, you can have fruit chips instead of going to like a box
or instead of going to like a bag of, I don't know, chips or Cheetos. So I absolutely love my freeze dryer. It is such an amazing tool. Like you guys saw the produce that was on my counter earlier, all that is just gonna hop into my freeze dryer. I don't do anything until it's done, and then I store it depending on if I want it into my long-term food storage or if I want it for snacks or if I want it for both. And then I just wanted to clean up, and the bread was done, and that was our processing day so far.
All right, the bread is out of the oven. Zucchini swirl bread, zucchini coffee cake bread, whatever you want to call it. It smells divine. My house smells so good, just cinnamon, warm, and sugar. We just got done packaging our freeze-dried apples and pears, and now I'm just gonna go clean up, get ready for my friend to arrive. And I gotta say thank you so much for coming along with me on the morning on the homestead. I appreciate it. I hope that you had a nice time. You can let me know if you enjoyed it and if you'd like to see more videos like this. So don't do anything a Gubba wouldn't do, and I hope you guys have an amazing day.